Experimental Alzheimer's drug slows cognitive decline in trial, firms say. The Washington Post. Makers of the drug have already applied to the Food and Drug Administration for accelerated approval for lecanemab, based on earlier stage data. An experimental Alzheimer's drug slowed cognitive and functional decline by 27% in a closely watched clinical trial, the sponsors of the medication said Tuesday, increasing the therapy's chance. +3698 CHARS. Prince William stood up for distraught staff, bullied by Meghan Markle, Sky News Australia. Null. Your browser isn't supported anymore. Update it to get the best YouTube experience and our latest features. Learn more. Remind me later. U.S. VP Harris condemns disturbing Chinese actions. Reuters. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris condemned on Wednesday disturbing actions by China in the Pacific while pledging to deepen unofficial ties with Taiwan, days after the U.S. administration pledged its forces would defend the island. Yokosuka, Japan. September 28. Reuters. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris condemned on Wednesday disturbing actions by China in the Pacific while pledging to deepen unofficial ties with Taiwan. Days. +3902 CHARS. Neonatal sepsis. The new threat posed by superbugs. BBC. Overuse of antibiotics has created a deadly, largely hidden health crisis among newborns that is devastating families around the world. This makes the need for disinfection and maintaining a protocol that ensures a clean, hygienic environment exceedingly important, says Sankar. However, basic soap and water are lacking in half the +2921 CHARS. Researchers discover a diamond factory deep inside Earth. SciTech Daily. Researchers find rust and diamonds at the Earth's core mantle boundary. On the Earth's surface, steel rusts due to water and air. But what about deep inside the interior of the Earth? The biggest carbon storage on Earth is the Earth's core, where 90% of the sea. By Arizona State University, September 27, 2022. Scientists have discovered that much more carbon exists in the mantle than predicted. Researchers find rust and diamonds at the Earth's core mantle bound. +4592 CHARS. Marlins Richard Bleier called for 3 balks. MLB.com. New York. The Marlins were the spoilers on Monday night at Citi Field by defeating the Mets 6-4. But the victory, which dropped the Mets into a tie for first place in the National League East, took a backseat to what happened in the 8th inning. Marlins. New York. The Marlins were the spoilers on Monday night at Citi Field by defeating the Mets 6-4. But the victory, which dropped the Mets into a tie for first place in the National League East, 2. +3169 CHARS. Apple News users receive racist messages after Fast Company hacked. CNN. The financial news publication Fast Company took the extraordinary step Tuesday night of shutting down its website after the outlet said it was hacked, resulting in a pair of obscene push notifications containing racist language being sent to Apple News Subscriber. The financial news publication Fast Company took the extraordinary step Tuesday night of shutting down its website after the outlet said it was hacked, resulting in a pair of obscene push notifications. plus 1496 chars. Stock futures fall after S&P 500 hits new low for the year. 10-year Treasury yield briefly tops 4%, CNBC. The S&P 500 hit a new intraday low on Tuesday as stocks continue to struggle in the face of rising interest rates. Stock futures were lower on Wednesday morning after a relief rally failed during regular trading hours, and the S&P 500 hit a new intraday low for the year. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industry plus 1210 chars. NXT recap and reactions. September 27, 2022. Steiner math. Cageside Seats. Bron Breakker gets a new challenger. Gallus goes away in cuffs. And Toxic Attraction fears fire. Guess what? NXT is taped from Florida this week. But im live and in living color. So is Claire. Blogging up a storm like only she can. Let's talk NXT. Threats. When NXT kicked off this week. Ilja. Plus 4843 chars. Hurricane Ian in Florida. Forecast track. Cone and more. Tampa Bay Times. See the storm's latest cone and satellite image. Null. Loneliness and unhappiness can age us faster than smoking. New study. Fox News. A new study recently published in Aging US indicates that being lonely and feeling unhappy can add to our biological age faster than the bad habit of smoking. Here are details. Loneliness may make our biological clock tick faster. Being lonely and feeling unhappy can accelerate the aging process more than smoking. According to a recent article published in Aging US. WD. Plus 6478 chars. Long Islanders see some identified flying objects. Patch. SpaceX caused quite a stir Saturday night as a vapor trail lit up the sky, causing some to ponder its origin. Then, Jupiter dropped in Long Island. NY. It's definitely not a bird. And not exactly a plane. Nor Superman on this way back to his day job at the Daily Planet. But as a trail of light burst across the south shore of Long is. Plus 3648 chars. Clinched. Cardinals claim 2022 NL Central crown. Fourth consecutive playoff berth. St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Mikolas pitches 6 superb innings. Lineup takes early lead for 6-2 win versus Milwaukee, sending Cardinals to their second division title since 2015 and their 12th 90-win season since 2000. Watch assorted highlights from inside the Cardinals' locker room celebration from Milwaukee as they clinch the 2022 NL Central Division crown. Carter Chapley. Milwaukee. The first goal the Cardinals shea. Plus 24526 chars. Apple drops plan to boost iPhone production as demand falters. Bloomberg, Reuters. Apple Inc. is dropping plans to increase production of its new iPhones this year after an anticipated surge in demand failed to materialize. Bloomberg News. Less than href equals https bloom.bg/3rj2cgw target equals _blank greater than reported less than a greater than on Tuesday. Citing people familiar with September 27. Reuters. Apple Inc. is dropping plans to increase production of its new iPhones this year after an anticipated surge in demand failed to materialize. Bloomberg News reported on Tuesday. CIT plus 1214 chars. India unwilling to bend for global bond index inclusion to bring in billions. NDTV Profit. India has ruled out any changes to tax policies that will make it easier for the nation's bonds to be included in global indexes. According to people familiar with the matter, India has ruled out any changes to tax policies that will make it easier for the nation's bonds to be included in global indexes. According to people familiar with the matter, Sarah Jessica Parker poses with twins Marion and Tabitha. 13. At premiere of Hocus Pocus sequel. Daily Mail. The Sex and the City icon shares her 13-year-old girls Marion and Tabitha with her longtime husband, Matthew Broderick, who was also on hand to pose up with the family at the big premiere. Sarah Jessica Parker glowed as she posed with her twin daughters at the New York premiere of her new movie Hocus Pocus 2. The Sex and the City icon shares her 13-year-old girls Marion and Tabitha Y. Plus 2915 chars. Russia-Ukraine war latest updates. The Washington Post. As referendums in Russian-controlled areas of Ukraine ended, British intelligence said Russian President Vladimir Putin could announce the annexation of 4 occupied regions as early as Friday. Return to menu staged referendums yield expected result as Russia readies annexations. Putin's plan to illegally annex 4 partially occupied regions in Ukraine lurched forward on Tuesday. As Russian plus 643 chars. Exercise with weights linked to lower risk of early death. Study says. The Guardian. Older adults could benefit from routine including aerobics and strengthening activities. According to researchers, older adults could benefit from routine including aerobics and strengthening activities. According to researchers, regularly exercising with weights is linked to a lower risk of premature death. Plus 3349 chars. This one's for the dinosaurs. How the world reacted to NASA's asteroid-smashing success. The Guardian. Astrophiles and professionals celebrated humanity's accomplishment at hitting a speeding space rock with a probe the size of a vending machine. Space astrophiles and professionals celebrated humanity's accomplishment at hitting a speeding space rock with a probe the size of a vending machine. The crashing of a spacecraft is, for once, a cause. Plus 2532 chars. NHL Preseason highlights. Wild vs. Avalanche. September 27, 2022. SPORTSNET. Tyson Jost scored 2 goals and Philip Gustafsson made 26 saves to help the Minnesota Wild beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-2. Null. Grounded review. IGN. Grounded reviewed by Travis Northup on Xbox Series X. Also available on PC. Grounded is a zany, challenging, and memorable adventure that benefits from OBS. Null. Major Asia markets down 2%. Chinese yuan at weakest since 2008. CNBC. Shares in the Asia-Pacific traded lower at the open on Wednesday as investors weigh economic risks. The Dow and S&P 500 have fallen for 6 straight days, with many of those seeing broad selling typical of so-called washout days. That can sometimes be a contrarian buy signal on Wall Street. +963 chars. Chloe Grace Moretz reflects on her body being used as a meme on Family Guy, The Independent. A paparazzi photo of Moretz circulated widely online, and was turned into a joke by sitcom writers. Chloe Grace Moretz has reflected on how a meme about her body in Family Guy negatively impacted her life. The 25-year-old actor, who has starred in films including 500 Days of Summer and Kick-Ass +, +1360 chars. Efforts to restore power in Cuba are underway after Hurricane Ian triggered an island-wide blackout. CNN. Crews in Cuba are working to restore power for millions Wednesday after Hurricane Ian battered the western region with high winds and dangerous storm surge, causing an island-wide blackout. Editor's note: affected by the storm? Use CNN's light site for low bandwidth. Are you affected by Hurricane Ian? Text or WhatsApp your stories to CNN +1 332 261 0775. ¿Te ha afectado el huracán Ian? C. +2535 chars. Diet high in guar gum fiber limits inflammation and multiple sclerosis symptoms. Neuroscience News. Diets high in guar gum, a dietary fiber and common food additive extracted from guar beans, limit inflammation and delay the onset of multiple sclerosis in mouse models. Summary: diets high in guar gum, a dietary fiber and common food additive extracted from guar beans, limit inflammation and delay the onset of multiple sclerosis in mouse models. Source: University. +5278 chars. Spiral galaxy captured in unprecedented detail by Webb telescope. CNN. A dazzling spiral galaxy located 29 million light-years from Earth appears in unprecedented detail in a new image released by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. Sign up for CNN's Wonder Theory Science newsletter. Explore the universe with news on fascinating discoveries, scientific advancements and more. A dazzling spiral galaxy located 29 million light-year +3651 chars. Is Bo Nickel the LeBron James of MMA? UFC may have won the lottery with newest signing, Yahoo Sports. Nickel is so talented, so confident and so impressive that after finishing Donovan Beard in just 52 seconds with a triangle choke Tuesday at Apex to finally Las Vegas, there are first overall draft picks. And then there are guys like LeBron James, Peyton Manning and Sidney Crosby. They are the greats among the great. Guys who aren't only stars but change T. +4097 chars. OnePlus 10T exclusively lands on T-Mobile. TMO News. It's official. T-Mobile will be the exclusive wireless service provider in the country to offer OnePlus Lates. It's official. T-Mobile will be the exclusive wireless service provider in the country to offer OnePlus latest 5G smartphone, the OnePlus 10T. The announcement was made by T-Mo earlier today. The OnePlus 1007 chars.